Hi, Dr. Brandy Victory here. And if you knew that in 10 years from now, you were going to be rushed to the hospital, put into emergency surgery, have one or more of your parts removed, and have to live with the consequence of that for the rest of your life, but you had an opportunity to change and or avoid that now, would you make that choice for yourself? It's a really great question to ask yourself. So I get a call the other day from my mom. My uncle has been rushed to emergency surgery and he's had his gallbladder removed. Now, yes, it's a very common surgery, but often unnecessary. I've seen gallbladders saved many, many times, and yet he'll have to live with the consequence for the rest of his life of that. Now, here's the deal. Back in 2013-ish, he came to me. He was like, "Hey, can you help me lose some weight?" That was his thing, right? But after I start investigating, He's got constipation alternating with very loose bowels. So sometimes he would eat and he would have to rush to the restroom. And we've all been in the public bathroom where people are going, people, that is not normal. Okay, that is not normal. That is an indication there's something going on. Okay, so even though you might want to lose weight, you really want to ask yourself, am I willing to take care of myself in a deeper way and listen to the signals my body is giving me? I did a full workup on him. I looked at his labs. This was like almost 10 years ago, right? I looked at his labs from functional blood chemistry perspective, which is way different. I see things differently than a medical doctor does on labs, okay? Most of the people who come to me say, "Oh, the doctor says my labs are fine." But then I end up seeing things because they're trained to look for dis-ease that they can diagnose and treat with drugs or surgery right then. They're not looking for progression towards disease, which is where I'm looking, so I can turn the systems around and start healing so they don't have to go down that path. So I'm like, okay, guess what? Here's our protocol. Let's get going, right? We need to work on your gallbladder. We need to work on your digestive system. We need to get the inflammatory markers down. And so we started on the protocol. And he decided that he wanted to take the easier road. He didn't want to commit. So he did it for a minute and then it was too expensive and it took too much time and it was just all these excuses, right? And so that was almost 10 years ago where I saw his gallbladder needed support. And here he is 10 years later in emergency surgery having it removed when it's probably unnecessary. There is no greater wealth and wisdom than taking control of your own health. And I'm here to tell you that Dr. Google and TikTok are not going to do it. They cannot know what your personal body needs. You need a professional to look at your stuff and help you mitigate things that are happening under the surface that you may not even know about. My uncle did not know that he had gallbladder symptoms. If he had gone to a medical doctor, they would not have picked up on the fact that his gallbladder was out of balance. I trust that if we had stayed on that path, he would not have had that surgery. Like, I absolutely trust that. All right. So I've been at this for like 20 years, and the reality is that younger and younger and younger people are coming into my office with undiagnosable things. They're like, "I've tried everything, nothing works." If you haven't seen my last reel I put up, as a matter of fact, I'll put a link to it below. But it's a story of a young lady who came to me, Chloe. She actually ended up working with me because she was such a great patient and loved the work and had such great results. But you'll hear her story of how detrimental her health was to her and how it impacted her life. So go back and listen to that. The link will be below. But younger and younger people are coming to me and they're like, they can't figure out what's wrong with me. Something's wrong. Some people I can't even barely touch without them like screaming in pain. Like, this is not normal. This is not normal. It's not okay. They're being diagnosed with all kinds of things like Epstein-Barr, Lyme disease, borderline personality disorder. It's all in your head. Let's give you some antidepressants or some mood balancing drugs. Maybe it's your hormones. Let's put you on the pill, even though you're close to 50. I mean, all these things. And it's just crazy that these things are coming up and no one's able to like put their finger on it and help like cure it or resolve it. Like, it's not happening and we're just going down the shitter. Okay. So there's no greater there's no greater wealth and wisdom that you can have for yourself than taking control of your health. Like, it is your right. And it's your responsibility for those that you lead and serve and love and play a part in their life, right? It's your responsibility to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, to nourish yourself, to love yourself in such a way that you teach those coming up behind you that they can too, because we're just getting sicker and sicker. Like, I've been at this for almost 20 years, and I'm seeing younger and younger and younger people come into my office and they're like, I don't know what's wrong. Nobody can figure it out. They're diagnosing them with all different kinds of things. And I'm not saying these aren't true for them: Epstein-Barr, Lyme disease, borderline personality disorder, depression. It's in your head. Let's give you an antidepressant, or let's give you a mood balancing drug. Mold. Like, okay, yeah, I know the mold story quite personally. And mold's been around for a very long time. So why now? Why now are we getting sick to the point of not being able to be diagnosed, not being able to turn it around? We're all sick. And I know no one wants to hear that. My 27-year-olds come to me. I have several of them right now, and they're like, they do the thing for a few minutes, and then they stop because they feel better, and then they want to go about their 27-year-old life. Understandable, totally understandable. And what do you think happens? They fall right back down, and they have to come back and start over. That's where their head goes. And then we get them back on the plan, back on the program, back on their supplements, and then they feel better, and then they stop, and then they go be a 27-year-old, and then they come back, right? So this is a pattern, but what they're starting to see is that they're not going to be able to live the normal average American 27-year-old life, because that's what's keeping them in the sick pile over here, right? And so it's sad for them because they feel like they're missing out, which I totally get, and I have so much compassion for that. I understand this story very well. And what I'm here to say is that they're starting to realize that the people that they're talking to are also sick. Their 20-something-year-old friends are also sick. And so the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because I want you to understand that we can't keep taking in pesticides and herbicides and chemicals and spraying chemicals on our body and cleaning our house with chemicals and then having it in the air we breathe and then having it in the water we drink, not having air purifiers, not having filtered water, and then eating food that is conventional and bad fats and inflammatory. And we can't keep doing that as our soils are being depleted of nutrients. So the food that we're eating, even if we're eating more salads every day, is not nourishing us back to the level of health that keeps our systems optimized. We can't keep doing that and expect that we're not going to have a consequence. We're all sick. We're all out of balance. You cannot not be out of balance in the life that we live on this planet right now. That's just truth. And I know that's a hard one to swallow. It really is. Like, I wish that I could just tell you, go eat more greens, get some colored foods in your diet. Yeah, that's important. But in truth, what's going to happen? Where are you going to be in 10 years? Where are you going to be in 10 years? You don't know. But I'm pretty sure that if you don't decide to take real, true control, like right now, of your health, you might end up like my uncle somewhere. Like, people are falling apart. Why is that? We're sick. That's why. So I really have compassion for this story, and I want you to be able to make a choice for yourself. I want you to be able to say, yes, it is time I take care of myself. And it doesn't matter if it's with me or with somebody else. Go get a massage, go get a chiropractic adjustment, go get acupuncture, go to your naturopath, go get some energy healing, get some Reiki. Like, do the things for you. So if you're ready to make a choice for yourself, the first thing you want to start focusing on is the gut. I've been giving you some tips about gut health. They're on my reels, they're in my newsletters. So start employing some of those tips. But if you want to take it to the next level, get yourself a total gut restoration pack. I'm going to give you a link to that pack, and I'm also going to give you a 15% discount for this month because it's my birthday. So I'm gifting you 15% off the total gut restoration pack because I want you to do something now. I want you to say yes to yourself, even if it's just getting this pack and starting to take care of your gut right? It's going to help balance things out. I'm also going to link to a podcast that I did with the company the kit comes from, so that you can hear what it's all about if you really are like ready to make a choice for yourself. So I'll have all that in the notes below, and I'm going to give you a 15% discount on it. So say yes to yourself, like just give yourself something. Now you may want to work with a professional who can help determine of whether or not that pack is appropriate for your body, but it's a good place to start. If you find that one of the products doesn't like really work for you, maybe there's a tweak we can make. So reach out, let me know. I'm happy to have that conversation. If you just really want to just sit down and have a chat, I'll also have a link to have a complimentary consultation this month. So get in for September, and I'm happy to support you. So this is really about you saying yes to yourself and taking control of your health, so you don't find yourself down a path in emergency surgery where you're having your parts removed. All right. So what choice will you make for you and your family? All right. I'm here for you. Mwah.